I gotta say, this episode of Boruto was pretty spectacular to watch, to say the least. It was definitely one of my favorite episodes of this arc for sure, because it is so hilarious how this episode starts off. So everybody is really frazzled seeing how the outcome of all these death game events are going. Same with Batta, like she is spooked out of her mind that she was forced to kill someone, and Yatsume trying to be nice, trying to comfort her, but she's still being arrogant as fuck. She's still try to play the stubborn girl and trying to get everyone away from her. And it was just so hilarious how Shamo is always the comedic gag. Like everyone always thinks Shamo is a weakling. They always make fun of him, and it's just so hilarious how he's always the one who gets the flack. He's always the one who's flacking back. But you also make try to get rid of the tension by actually avoiding your desires. Like with Yasume's desires, she would like a different hair color. Boruto, obviously, he wants to be like his master. Shabo, of course, again, he just wanted to be there for his grandma. Similar with Obito, if I remember correctly. I remember Obito had a similar relationship with his grandma, so it's just kind of funny to see that. But Namusan, he was kind of the person I actually respectable, because he was a convicted killer who did not mind killing anyone whatsoever until he realized that it was going to be a point where he's going to be caught. He's going to be he don't have his sin on the rest of his back. But luckily, a priest who was not scared at him at the slightest, like he wasn't even terrified of him at all. Like this priest was broke. But he still decided to give one of his last remaining rifle to Namasan, and that would make Namasan reconsider his ways, become a priest, and have no worldly desires other than the simple desire to merely live and help people, as priests usually do. So, Kizaru-san, I don't know. I mean, he just has a simple life. He just wanted to just want to he just wanted to go with, to the hot springs, and with that being said, he actually just tried to start the game, which is this. There's something into this weird place with the high ass ceiling, and Shamo trying to get attention from Boruto Hidoro-san, but they kind of negate him, they kind of ignore him, so he kind of get pissed off and actually wonder what this button on the left does, or on the side does. And I'm just thinking to myself, do not press that button. Like you see that this button's not there for no reason. Like there's no way a random button would just be there for a light switch. But of course, he does it anyway because he so innocent, and he doesn't know what actually happened. And it's just so hilarious. Like the moment that happens, like this ceiling just start coming down so badly, and everyone's just so upset at Shamo. So Boruto Shamo come up with the idea that there are multiple buttons around this wall. So they literally go and click as many buttons as possible, saying it cannot get any worse than it possibly is. But then suddenly a bite start coming on the ceiling, start coming back down, and it was pretty crazy how they were even saw coming down on the bottom as well. And Batta kind of made it a point that like, we need to stop pressing all these buttons because clearly that's not going to work. But then eventually at one point, Boruto decided to give one more try, and there's these cubby holes, and these cubby holes are pretty useful for surviving, I would imagine. And but the problem is there's not a lot of space. There really isn't a lot of space. There's not a lot of cubby holes. And so that would mean a lot of them will have to sabotage each other. But I will say I did forget. Yasume's ability is so fucking awesome. Like her ability to use chains with lightning style. It reminds me a little bit of Ghost Rider. Similar how Ghost Rider uses fire with his chains. It reminds me of a similar thing with Yasume. Like that ability is so fucking awesome. Like, I was wondering if she is a shinobi capable of skill, or if she has some jutsu up her sleeve, because we haven't really seen her perform any crazy fancy shit or anything. He's just been relatively the icebreaker, the icebreaker between the group. He's mainly been the one to give mental support to everyone and actually have make sure everyone has a reassured sound of mind. And I appreciate that about Yatsume. Yatsume is probably my favorite character in the art. But the fact that even someone like Shama, while all the others had made their way to the cubbyholes, and by the way, Kiro-san, I mean his ability is also not bad either. Like the fact that he could shoot flaming arrows just like that, like again, like these characters have so many unique abilities. Just that is pretty cool. Like the fact that he could shoot flaming arrows like a professional archer. It's just so awesome to see how he actually thought he was going to be able to beat that weird guy with the with that weird arm and with that sharp ass arm, and obviously that didn't work out. And instead of not only getting a hit on that one man, he actually made it worse for his teammate because now their teammate is on fire. But luckily, Boruto knows water style, so we're all fine. And it was just so hilarious. While on the mean side, Miki is still investigating. Sarada and Kawaki are still saying how we actually have no fucking clue where Boruto could be. But I do have the scroll of all the people that were on the train, so we could run that against the database and see if there's a possible suspect. So I was curious to see how that could have gone, but luckily we do see that during the end of the episode. But regardless, the fact that like Boruto was so adamant about defeating this wall, this layer of the floor where there's apparently a weak point. He was so adamant about proving to everyone that he was gonna win, and that no one is gonna change his mind about that. That literally, even someone like Shamo, who is very terrified, even someone like him that decided to get the ball to actually do the mud wall to actually hold up the platform so Boruto can have a little bit more prep time. And while Batta, on the other hand, she's kind of having problems because Yatsume kind of hit her with the hard fact that no, you are killing too many people. I mean that's the truth. Like how many people are you gonna kill? And for Batta, he was just saying how she needs money. And by the way, that I mean obviously I knew that fake reason that reason for her wanting money was fake because there's no way a person is that cruel. There's no way a person would risk their life being a ninja just to buy a regular ass island. I mean, you just ain't gonna do that. I mean, no sane person would do that. And it's just so hilarious to be well, not really hilarious, it was heartwarming to see how that Batta kind of betrayed her belief for a sec, in the fact that she actually has an issue where her homeland got stolen by the rich. It got sold off from the rich, like that she cannot access that part of the island anymore. I would assume, or she can't really enjoy the things she was accustomed to in her homeland. And for Boston, it was just so like wow, because when she said that the rich basically pulled a fast one over her, yet she herself is helping a rich person just because of how desperate she is to get back on her homeland. And I do have respect for her. While yes, she did kill someone, but I can't really hold it against her because you did what you had to do. I mean, when you're in that kind of situation in a death game, I mean, can we all say that she was in the wrong for that? Can we really say that she was in the wrong for that? I mean, she was terrified. I mean, they all were. I mean, they didn't have the time, unlike Boruto, because Boruto's smart. Boruto has the undying will to always survive with his friends. These other people aren't. They're just regular ass shinobi. Naruto and Boruto having that undying will to be there with their friends, that is a special trait that belongs to a little most of Konoha. It's not really a common trait. So for Batta, I kind of do understand why she had to resort to that way. But I'm distracting myself. When Batta actually revealed that she actually going to help out Boruto, because Kizaru, Namazan, and Boruto, they can, as much damage they are doing to this floor, they cannot destroy it. So Batta actually realized that Boruto is never going to change his mind about that, and Boruto is always going to be able to, always going to be trying to be the one on top. Batta actually realized that she's going to offer her services because she also doesn't want to kill anymore. She want to go down the straight and narrow path, and that's what's great to me. And what her ability is actually fucking awesome. Like, cause I figured like at most things in the world, everything has a weakness. Everything has a certain point where it could be destroyed, and that was the same thing with the floor. And her ability to be able to like scan the material and see where the material had a certain weak point, like that is so awesome to see. Even though that is like that's not really used for combat, but it's still cool that you could do something like that. Because again, like even I don't think the Century type ninjas can do that really. Because I mean, you don't really see that. I mean, maybe Sakura because I mean what she did, the Sakura, the Sake manga story. I mean, what she did there was pretty cool. So I'm pretty sure she could do that, but. But what Batta did is not a normal feat, and I could praise her on that because it was a pretty job well done. And obviously, of course, now that Batta actually figured out the weak point, Boruto saved the day, throws the Rasengan, and actually makes it to everyone survive. But there's one last big twist. Apparently, Batta actually had a communication device in her hand, and I'm and Boruto here up here wondering what this device for. She said that it was used by someone, and she took it from someone. It's in perfect condition, mind you, and why would we have a communication device if why would we have a communication device if we're not using it to contact the outside world? So obviously it has to be used for someone that's related to this event between Oga and the assumed traitor. And when Boruto actually get revealed the answer, we don't hear it obviously, but I assumed it was Yatsume. But I'm glad it's not because again, Yatsume is still my favorite character. But when it switches to Sarda and Kawaki, it actually gets revealed that somehow Kizaru is a outer apparently, which that completely threw me back because this guy literally said he was from Konoha. So it makes me wonder if that was a lie or if he actually had been in Konoha for a decent amount of time and literally nobody knew that. And it made me think of that episode where a flashback of where Naruto actually made it a point of whether he thinks he's gonna close the gates of Konoha, so more outers can't get in. So I do wonder if it's related to that. It's an interesting theory to think about. It's just kind of funny to see how if Naruto had closed that gate, uh, more outers may not have came in, so similar with the Kizaru fellow. But I guess we just gotta have to see what happens in the next following episode because that episode was pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, and I can't wait for the remainders of this arc to continue because I'm so far having a blast, especially with this episode. I would love to know your thoughts on this episode on the whole and what your thoughts on the next episode going forward. But with that, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one.